had been a couple weeks since James had went to the mainland and had run into certain things. Some of the other engines had noticed that ever since James had come back from the mainland, he had been acting differently. He seemed to be more to himself and not saying much. That was until one early morning, Gordon pulled into Nafford Yards, getting ready to take the express for the day, and saw James and Bear talking amongst themselves. I'm just saying, Bear, it's dreadful to think about. Bear then spoke. I mean, yeah, it is, but take Gordon here, for example. He's ran the express for, what, 90-odd something years, I think? James looked at his buffers as Bear turned back to him. The point I'm trying to make is, James, yes, some of us have lived through dark moments. Some of us are flawed. Some of us even are old-fashioned. But we still have a place here. He's got a point, James, said Gordon. And what about all the other engines that didn't have a place here? Why were we so lucky while they had to suffer? Said James. Bear and Gordon looked down at their buffers. They didn't have an answer for that, and there was a moment of silence. Well, James, began Gordon, sometimes life is just cruel that way. But did you ever stop to think about how we replaced old engines? Said Gordon. So it was inevitable that we would be replaced too. I'm not as young as I once was, finished Gordon. James sighed to himself. I guess you've got a point, Gordon. Well, I should be off. I have a passenger train to take. I'll see you two around. And James puffed away to collect his coaches. As James puffed away, Bear and Gordon looked at each other. And Bear said, You know, Gordon, he has a point, and that diesel was way out of line. But I have a plan, said Bear. Is that so? Do tell, said Gordon. And with that, the high mech began outlining his plan to the blue A3 Pacific. Later that night, after taking the Sudrian, Gordon was sitting in the yard waiting for Bear. A familiar horn sounded out, and Bear pulled up beside Gordon. Good, you're here, said Bear. And everything is set, said Gordon. Yes, it is, said Bear. Just waiting on Murdoch to bring the train, and we will take it on, said Bear. And as if on cue, Murdoch steamed in, coming to a stop. Murdoch was uncoupled and taken off the train. And Gordon and Bear were placed at the front. And when everything was ready, the guard blew his whistle. Are you ready, Bear? All good up here, said Bear. And with the two engines began to drag the heavy train out the yard.
sprint, Bear? Ready when you are.
Soon, the two engines began rocketing along the line. Soon, Gordon and Bear pulled into the port and came to a gentle stop at the quayside. Soon, Gordon and Bear was uncoupled and they moved off the train. Soon, the two engines puffed into an old shed and was being ready for the return home.
You know, Gordon, I see why the Fat Controller put you on the Sudrian. You still got that fire in you, said Bear. Gordon chuckled. Well, you certainly know how to give an old engine a run, said Gordon. Suddenly, without warning, there was a horn.
D7101. I hope this outdated relic isn't bothering you.
Relic? Huh. The nerve, said Gordon.
First off, my name's Bear now, and his name is Gordon. You will address him as such, not relic. I will address him as I see fit, old and useless, and past his prime, just like his siblings. They were past their prime, just like the rest of these old, useless kettles. When will you get it through your head that these...
How dare you talk about my siblings? We are the pride of the LNER.
No, you were the pride of the LNER. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have more of you to take to the cutter's torch.
Oh no, you don't.
Gordon, wait, what are you doing?
Stupid. Oh no. Help! Help! Help!
That's for threatening my friends and talking about my family. And if you threaten any one of my friends again, I personally will...
Gordon, what have you done? The Fat Controller won't be too pleased to hear about this, said Bear. Early that morning, the diesel was lifted off the quay and put onto some flatbed. Once he was loaded onto his flatbed, he was shunted onto Bear and Gordon's return train. And after the mess was cleared and Gordon was checked over, Bear and Gordon backed down onto the train. And once everything was ready, they left the harbor and soon was bucketing along the line.
at the yard. They were uncoupled and moved off the train. And soon, the two engines made their way into the sheds for a rest. When they got there was somebody waiting for them.
So,
Mr. Top of Hat.
not only did you two gallivant on without letting me know, but you also put your crews in danger and put an engine in action.
The two engines looked at their buffers.
And not only did you cause the engine to have the accident, but you caused confusion and delay. And now our trains to the mainland will be running late. I am disappointed in you both, said Sir Topham Hatt. We're sorry, sir, said the engines.
The Fat Controller then paused, and then he spoke.
Although Murdoch told me everything, and I'm proud of how you stood up for yourself. That is a mark of a true Fat Controller's engine. Seeing as the diesel started with you first and has been threatening most of my engines, I will forgive this instance of a violation. However, in future, I will handle things like this. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir, said the two engines.
Gordon, the Cedrian will be ready in 15 minutes. Get yourself turned and ready. Bear, the Limited will be leaving right after,
said Sir Topham Hatt.
Now, to deal with that diesel, said Sir Topham Hatt.
And with that, he turned on his heel and walked away. When Sir Topham Hatt left, Gordon looked at the green Hymic.
Thank you, Bear,
he said quietly to the diesel. Bear smiled back. It's just like you said. United we stand, together we fall, said Bear. Gordon chuckled.
United we stand, together we fall.
Now go show them what Bresley's finest can do, said Bear.
Gordon said, with pleasure.
And then he left the shed. And Bear watched the blue A3 puff out the sheds. And Bear was happy that him and his friends were safe on the Northwestern Railway. And if you're wondering what Sir Topham Hatt did with the diesel, well, let's just say Sir Topham Hatt proposed a new generator for barrel and furnace to British Railways, and the diesel will never move again. But I think he deserved it. Don't you?
Yahoo Scrubs! And you know what you can do? You can blow me, bitch!
Really, Brett? I can't.
Okay, like I said, you know what you can do? You can blow me, bitch!